Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a long overdue episode of the Who Cares Anyway podcast. We're back. I'm excited. I'm happy. And guess what, guys? In case you haven't noticed, a little bit of a redesign going on tonight. How awesome is that? Look over here. There's a channel plug. Look over here. There's my personal plug. Down here, there's the new format. And guess what? I'm going to click a little button here that's going to cut over to Kees. You got your own window now. How awesome is that?
Fancy this.
Yes.
Dude, this is so fancy. I can't even right now. Oh my god. It's the best.
Oh, you shush.
Hey, this is great. We're finally back on a Friday night, sipping beer, talking about movies and stuff, having fun. Because I've missed this. It's been a month or so. So yeah.
It's been too long, and it's completely my fault because, as I've said time and time again, guys, I started a new job. I'm now working for a life insurance company, and
work is a heartless bitch.
Work is a heartless bitch, but now that I finally have some time on my hands, it's time to get into this. So, and because, here's the thing. Yes, we've been pumping out videos constantly, but shit. Case, when was the last time, we just, talked and hung out for a minute?
Two of us on Skype all the time. No, but yeah, it's been a bit. It's been a while, and yeah, usually when we get on Skype, the last couple of weeks have been because of recordings, because of studying for our title match, my title matches that hopefully are going to drop anytime soon, because I can't wait for people to see those.
Same.
That's of course up to Multiplex when they finally drop it, but I'm excited for people to see that. I want people to see that. Most of our Skype sessions have been pretty YouTube oriented and less just about, guys, what is going on in the world with us? I've changed jobs in the meantime. You have gotten a new job in the meantime. There has been stuff going on,
There has been, and And you know what? Here, so can you tell me what your new job is? Because we haven't actually talked about that.
Well, look, jobs that I do are not that interesting. The job that I did was production work, and the job that I do is production work. It's just at a different company. Previously, I did it at a company or factory that made cleaning products, mostly industrial stuff, because it was a huge company. And then last Wednesday, I got the news that they didn't need me anymore. And I was like, well, that's short notice. So instantly, I went looking for something else. And luckily, this week, I got contacted by multiple companies that wanted me, mainly based on my experience with production work. Because the thing is, production work is not really work that people want to do. So if you indicate, hey, I want to do production work, a lot of people around here want you to do that. And now I'm working at a very local factory that makes desserts, actually. Very tasty desserts, to be fair. The funny thing is, if you drive by the factory, you would not be able to tell it's a factory. It looks like a farm, because initially it was started as just a farmer a couple of decades ago who just wanted to make a nice dessert because he had cows and he could make desserts with them, and that became huge for some reason, especially here in our region. So yeah, it became a lot bigger, and now they actually have a full-on factory that, it's definitely not as big as the factory where I used to work, but it's still, they pump out a lot of desserts, tasty. I actually got a couple of them. That was very nice. So yeah,
Nice.
I just work in production, and I get free desserts, and that's nice.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The one thing that would suck about me having access to that much sweets would be just I'd get even fatter than I am right now, and as John Goodman once said in The West Wing, I'm one undercooked steak away from a heart attack. So
Oh, that's concerning.
Well, okay, and granted, it's kind of, that's not really how it is, but some days I wake up and I'm like, but hey, and you know what, like you said, we got some drinks. There's a
We do
lot.
have.
There's a lot of rants coming, but it's not just rants because we obviously we're going to do some movie news and whatnot. At the 8:30 hour, I actually have an old friend of mine from college coming on the call to
Our first
talk.
guest.
Woo! Yep, to talk about a nonprofit that he works for. And we'll get more into that in a bit. And there'll be a little bit of music talk as well. So so we're gonna start expanding a little bit. Because the last episode we talked about movies by musicians, and I think it might be able to contribute a little bit to that. But I think I want to focus more on just him and what he's been up to, versus just forcing it to be like, oh, it has to be art related. How to do it that way? Okay, all right. Well, let's get into our first bit of news. And this, right off the bat, okay. Captain Marvel trailer drops. I'm not going to say that I'm underwhelmed because I'm not excited for the movie. I am excited for the movie, actually. I'm very excited for this movie because I think it's going to be a damn good movie. But I'm just like on this trailer because I don't think it was very well constructed as a trailer, if that makes sense. Like, Case, am I sounding right or am I sounding like off?
Look, Captain Marvel is not a character that a lot of people know. Um, and the thing is, look, the only thing that this movie, for me, in my personal opinion, has going for it is the fact that it's in the MCU. The MCU has a great track record. Yes, they have their misses here and there, but most of the movies are still good. I do think that it looks like a competently made, well done movie. Um, just neither of the trailers have really wowed me, and that that's kind of unfortunate because I want this movie to be great. Of course, I never root against movies. It's just that the moment that I see a trailer and I think it's then I'm like not looking for like at this point I am looking forward to Captain Marvel just as much as I'm looking forward to Aquaman. And believe me, I am not looking forward to Aquaman. It's just that the trailers have
Which,
not really wowed me.
which I'll bring up another point about Aquaman here in a moment. But until then, like, do you think there's like one particular element that as to why neither of us are really that excited about from the trailers, at least?
Well, you said a thing about the trailer not being well constructed. That's definitely a thing. But I also think that like while we see Nick Fury in the trailers, um, we just don't know anything about the character. We don't know a lot of the backstory. Not a lot of people probably have read the comics, and they're trying to sell something that we don't know yet. And uh, and while I do think that the trailers are assuming a little bit too much of the audience about the audience knowing more about the character than they possibly should. Because the thing is, for the regular audience, especially me, who never has read a single comic book, okay, I have read comic books, but they're all Star Wars, so it doesn't count. I have not read a single comic book about an actual superhero in my life, so I need to know all the information from the movies, from the trailers. So please sell me on that. And I think that what they're showing in these trailers, well, there's a lot of information about the character that I think you would only know if you're a comic book fan, and or a comic book reader. I should say. I mean, I'm a comic book fan. It's just I don't read them really. I watch the movies and I love them, but there is a lot of information in this trailer where I'm just, what is going on? I don't know what this is, who this is, so I'm just
Okay,
missing things.
yeah, no, and actually, you know what? And that's actually a great point to bring up because like I I feel because now it's the second trailer, I should know a little more about Carol Danvers, and I barely know anything. Like I know about, I feel like I'm starting to get a grasp on her character, But usually in a trailer like this, because it's an origin story, we'll get something about her backstory, and we're just not seeing any of that. Like,
No. Or maybe they are, and I'm just missing it.
maybe, let's be fair. And it's. I will say this though. This could easily be the best looking of the sort of mid-grade Marvel films, because obviously
it looks great.
There's no way this movie is going to be like an Avengers or Infinity War quality film, but I think of the origin story MCU films, this could probably be in the upper tier, just simply based on the aesthetic alone. Like it.
Look. The thing with like if we look at like some of the most recent origin stories for characters, about characters that we haven't seen, the most recent I think is Doctor Strange or Black Panther. I'll get into Black Panther when we get to the Golden Globes, but Doctor Strange gave us a character that nobody knew and made him interesting, made him cool. So they can, like the MCU has known to give us an origin story about a character that we have no idea about and make it cool.
True.
But with Doctor Strange, also the trailers look good. So I don't know what is happening here. The only thing that I just don't want to hear by anyone, look, I am basing Captain Marvel off the fact that it's a movie. To me, it doesn't carry the weight of anything more than that. I know that nowadays everyone is looking for these movies like a Wonder Woman, like a Black Panther, for the representation. Like Wonder Woman, we had a female-led superhero movie, and Captain Marvel will do that as well. It's good. It's good that we have more female-led superhero movies, but honestly, that's not necessarily what I'm looking for. I don't mind. I don't care for the representation, honestly. I just want a good movie. And based on the trailers, I am not seeing that great of a movie. So please don't call me a sexist. I still love Brie Larson. I know what she can do. I've seen her Oscar performance. She was great in that. So yeah. I know she can be great. It's just based off the trailer, and I'm basing this as a movie, doesn't look that great.
True, and to be honest, I said the same thing about a certain film from 2016 called Rogue One, and in some ways I was proven right, and in other ways I was happily proven wrong. But we'll have to see. Now, it's funny you bring up Aquaman, because I know this is further down the show notes list, but I want to talk about this now.
We can.
Because what the shit? I'm not excited for this movie whatsoever. I'm really not. But, like, the rest of the world seems to be catching some sort of Aquaman fever, because here's the thing. Early reviews haven't come in, or early reactions haven't, tweeted out on social media and whatnot, and it's positive. Like, really positive. Like, this could wind up in the 90s on Rotten Tomatoes. Positive.
Well, Wonder Woman was there as well.
And it just opened up in China on its opening night, $25 million in one night. This movie
shows the power of the China box office.
This movie is making money already. So forgive me, DC fans, but I wanted this movie to fail, and for one reason, so that way we could get a full DC Universe reboot. But now you are dashing my dreams, because it needs the full reboot. We talked about this on like the second episode of the show, and I'll stand by that opinion. But I don't know, like, Case, am I crazy for how I'm feeling?
Well, there are two parts of me with Aquaman that I'm just conflicted about. Part of me, yes, I agree with you. I want this movie to fill. I want every DCU movie to fill so that Warner Brothers can finally stop making their shitty DCU movies, because they've been making them for years and they don't seem to stop, even though they don't really make that much money, especially if you consider that Infinity War made more in its opening weekend than Justice League in its entire fucking run. Fucking hell. So it's like, part of me wants them to fill. Part of me also is like, well, Justin Lin is behind this. There is actually talented cast
James
and crew
Wan.
behind. James Wan. Sorry, I
All
mix
good.
them up sometimes.
All good.
Both Fast and Furious directors, but yeah, James Wan, great director. I love most of his work. And like there's a talented cast and crew behind this, and I'm like, if they can make a good Aquaman movie, please, by all means, finally make it. So like, I never really want movies to fail, unless in this case, if it's to make sure that we actually get better movies down the line. So in this case, I don't want it to fail, but yeah, the reactions are positive, and I think that just shows what the DCU should have done years ago. Instead of making a shitty version of BVS or Justice League or Suicide Squad, and that is make standalone movies. Create these heroes, create the origin story, set them up, make us care, and then down the line make your team up movie, which they rushed because they were like, we need to react to MCU, The Avengers, MCU, Guardians, and they failed. It's like
so many times.
they failed with BVS, Justice League, and Suicide Squad. I mean, they made kind of a little bit of money, but definitely not as much as they could have if they had actually focused on more standalones before. Give us an actual origin story, and that's what because that worked with Wonder Woman, and it seems to work with Aquaman. And in my personal opinion, it worked with Man of Steel because I still love that movie, and I think that the majority of people still likes that movie. So hey, their standalones are usually better than their team up movies, and it just shows this is what the DCU should focus on. So maybe Aquaman can be good, and maybe the next Wonder Woman movie will actually be good, and maybe the DCU will finally fucking learn that you should not compete with the MCU, because the MCU is in a complete different realm right now. They are in the realm of they are the most successful franchise in history, and you cannot beat that. You cannot compete with that. The only thing that you can do as DCU is focus on your own characters. You have great characters. Batman and Superman are two of the most iconic characters that you have. Wonder Woman as well. Aquaman can be that. Green Lantern can be that. Just make sure that you make a good origin movie or just a standalone movie of one superhero. And if you have done a couple of those and set up the characters, maybe you can do another team-up movie. I hope they learned from this, but I doubt it. We'll see.
Yeah, I kind of doubt it too. Like, because again, to double back for just a second, like the reason I wanted this movie to fail is not because I want the idea of an Aquaman movie to fail. No, Aquaman is a character that you can make fascinating. Aquaman is a character that should work on his own independent film, because Wonder Woman crushed it out of the park from a financial standpoint and from a critical standpoint.
Yep.
So, and, personal feelings aside on the film, you can't argue with the results. But Aquaman is giving results when it shouldn't be. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll come over to the States and it'll bomb. Which, again, sorry guys, but I kind of want that to happen. But I don't know. It scares me that I don't want a comic book movie to succeed. And it's going to succeed regardless. But what are you going to do? Especially when, thank God, DC is not trying to fight against another MCU film that dropped its trailer today. And that reaction will be up as soon as this episode is over. I meant to have it up before we started, but we were running a little late. So that's fine.
We were on a time crunch.
It's okay. It's okay. So let's continue talking about Endgame.
Dude, this movie, this trailer, really, if you see the reaction, I'm just speechless throughout. I'm like, wow, I'm shocked. I am legit shocked by this trailer. It is so depressing. It really continues on the depressing note that Infinity War left us on. By the way, if you haven't seen Infinity War, major spoilers.
Who cares anyway?
This is true. But what a trailer. what a first trailer for such a movie that everyone has been anticipating. But yeah, Infinity War left on such a low note. Half of everything died. And how the fuck do you recover from that? This trailer essentially gives you an answer. You really don't. You really can't recover from such a thing. Because recovering from half of everything dying, just everyone reacting, like if you saw Cap reacting to how his best friend in the world, Bucky, died in front of his eyes, or Tony Stark reacting to how Spidey died in his arms, like, oh my fucking god, we are in the end game, and I don't know how we are going to recover from this, but I needed this movie last May already. I didn't get it last May. I'll get it next May. But fucking hell, I cannot wait to see this movie. I need it right now because it's going to be the best fucking thing besides maybe episode 9 next year.
I hate to say it, bro, but I think from a qualitative standpoint, I have to accept the possibility that this might be better than episode 9.
That's okay.
In terms of how satisfactory this movie will be, because
it's okay.
Because god damn it, like, Infinity War left us on the note that, you know, for some people, they say Last Jedi should have left us on, and for some it didn't. Which, again, totally get it if, you know, you didn't agree with it. But everyone agrees that, like, and you can make the argument that Endgame has even more riding on it than Episode 9 does.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. Probably.
Because just from the opening segment alone of Tony Stark in space. Hi, Malcolm Lay. How's it going, man? And RMRM, thank you for joining the chat. I'm a little conflicted because as I will have said in our reaction as soon as it uploads, essentially, and to reiterate a point, I said that this movie is to this franchise what Return of the Jedi was to the original trilogy. And
different tone.
Yes, but it has the tone of Revenge of the Sith, which is what I'm really looking forward to. And I don't know. There's a possibility that after Endgame comes out, it could beat Infinity War in my ranking of the films.
If it does with me, for me, then I will have a new favorite MCU movie, because yes, after having rewatched Infinity War infinite amount of times, pun intended, Infinity War definitely is my favorite MCU movie.
And you gave me grief about this, but I will watch it again as soon as it's on Netflix.
Yes, just fucking get on with it.
Yeah. And it looks like Malcolm Lay in the chat, he actually predicts that Endgame will be way better than Episode 9, and he's a fan of both. And
okay,
like I said, Malcolm, there actually is a possibility. I'm not trying to say one way or the other, but, you know.
Look, I am biased, so I don't care which is better. Either way, I still have a bias. It's just amazing that next year we will have Avengers 4 and Episode 9.
In the same year.
What a time to be alive.
What a time. Exactly. I mean, you know, and then for somebody like me, we're also going to get Toy Story 4, and then we're also going to get fucking the Lion King remake. And I know, Case, I know. Just let me be excited for it. Okay.
Hey, I'm not saying that anyone should not be excited for those movies. It's just that I am not at all. But that's me.
And that's fine. You are totally allowed to feel that way. So
everyone is allowed their opinion.
Yes, that they are. Okay, so I'm looking at the show notes real quick, and I do see we still have one more comic book story, and I wanna actually knock that out right now, so that way we can just get all of the blockbuster shit out of the way, and then focus on the shit that to me it matters more. So, Okay. DC fans. You guys know about a little known character called Plastic Man. He's been around since the 40s. He's he's one of those obscure characters who's just maintained a career throughout the years and is still around today. And he's been a member of the Justice League, etc., etc. Well, they're finally going to give a crack at him. Now, this is my understanding of the character. He's sort of like Deadpool, but not really. Like, he's kind of a jokester, but he's not, like, meta about it. Which I think, personally, DC should try to tackle this kind of character, where it's a lot more fun-oriented, where we can just step as far away from the, dark and gritty of the worlds of DC as far as possible, and give this thing a fair shake. I mean, Jonathan Peck, how's it going, man? I always have to give a shout out to the people in the chat. But Case, like, I'm presuming you never heard of this character.
No.
But does the idea of a sort of, funny kind of character who's not necessarily like meta about it, but still like fun and adventurous, does that excite you at all, or does that just, be like, let me see a trailer, then I'll make a judgment for myself?
Well, it's DC, so no.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry. It's like DC's track record has not been good for a while, and I do not think that they can like do any kind of justice to such a character, because they cannot even do justice to their own fucking Superman and Batman character. So,
from a certain point of view,
have you seen Justice League?
Fair enough.
So, yeah, just based off the fact that it's, DC wants to react to Deadpool because Deadpool is successful. No, I'm looking
forward to it. But to be fair, I don't think they're reacting to Deadpool per se. To me,
they just want to do something like it.
I suppose. I mean, just the way that I personally read it, though, like I read it more as, they're fun. That like this is their way of starting to address the whole, all DCEU films are dark and depressing and and they're like, no, fuck you. We can have a lighthearted film that's just a fun romp, and as long as it's not like insultingly stupid, I'm down. I'll probably still not think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I'm still down.
Just give me an entertaining movie, please.
Yeah.
And that's something that needs to be dark for the sake of being dark, and also having like a dark overlay throughout the entirety of the movie for the sake of it being dark, because DC, you don't need to be dark. You really don't need to.
But Case, they clearly do need to be dark.
Shit is darker than this.
Okay. I'm done poking the bear for the moment. Okay. Actually, no, I'm not done poking the bear. Because, okay. So it was announced this week that a movie franchise that just had its last sequel done last year, that being Resident Evil: The Final Chapter, which, the Final Chapter.
By the way, remember when Friday the 13th had the final chapter? Do you know how many movies they made after that?
But let's be fair, though. Those movies are fun. They're stupid, and they're bad, but they're fun.
From a certain point of view.
I love them. And you know what? And guys, seriously, I want you all to congratulate Case for actually sitting down and watching the entire Friday the 13th franchise when he was still at his old job.
I didn't think any of them were good, but yes, I finally watched all of those fucking movies.
Yes, and here's the thing. I told you they weren't good. I told you they weren't good.
No.
But I enjoyed the fuck out of them.
6 and 7 are enjoyable. And
yes,
the most enjoyable thing about that entire franchise is Jason Voorhees killing teenagers who are having sex. That's all there is to that franchise. There is no other reason to watch any movie in that franchise, because that's all you see, except for, of course, for the first one where it's not Jason but his mom.
Yeah.
Anyway, Resident Evil.
Yes. Fucking Resident Evil. Okay, so the first one, I'll admit I have a guilty pleasure for it because, you know, you have a Slipknot song on the soundtrack and then I'm putty in your pants. But after that, you know, it's just the same Mila Jovovich-led film directed by her husband, Paul W.S. Anderson, and it sucks. And it just there's no focus in plot, there's no focus on the characters, there's no great effects. You know, they tried the 3D gimmick way too many times for it to be interesting. And I'm done with that. I'm done with this franchise. But guess what, motherfuckers? We're going to bring back the director of 47 Meters Down, and we're going to make a new reboot. Stop. Stop, please. Come on. If you're going to reboot it, give it at least 10 years. Is that too much to ask? Because, literally, people, you could make an adaptation of the 6th game, and it would have been better than any of the films so far. But no, we have got to have money. Case, do you have any angry words you like to throw out right now?
I have absolutely nothing to say about this news story, except for the fact the only good thing in this entire thing is the number 47. And that's all there is to it.
Okay, Hitman. Well done.
No. It's a different reference. Multiplex had a match. You maybe should watch them.
Okay, never mind. Hi, guys. In case you're tuning in live for the first time, which, yes, our matches on Multiplex Entertainment. Watch them when they drop, please. And
Please do.
Please do. But actually, finish watching this show first and then go watch them.
Yeah.
But, so, let's make something perfectly clear right now. As much as I can get, you know, angry and pissed about, you know, Resident Evil, fine.
Who the fuck is gonna care anyway?
Exactly. On the other hand, here's something that I, you know what? Look at this, guys. I'm switching over to my camera. Oh, boy. Because this is something I'm going to get pissed about.
Rants for everyone.
Yes. Rants for days. Prince is regarded as one of the greatest musical artists of all time. He's regarded as one of the greatest artists of the 80s, and his music has transcended his very decade and is still beloved by millions of people across the world today.
Especially Minnesotans.
Oh, yes. Well, and yeah, because literally, when he passed away, pretty much everybody shut down. Like, there were over 2 million people in the city of Minneapolis who were out mourning him and were out celebrating his accomplishments as a musician together. That doesn't happen very often, but I'm glad that we pulled that off. So, what's the best thing that Hollywood can do to pay tribute to such a timeless artist? Oh, we're going to make a jukebox musical about his life, or about his music. Problem, motherfuckers, you already did that with 1984's Purple Rain, which I will argue is one of his greatest albums ever made. It's one of the greatest rock albums of the 1980s. But that movie sucks. That movie is terrible. That movie is poorly paced. That movie is terribly acted. But he plays Purple Rain, and let's go crazy, and it's all wonderful. Sex Shooter. That's one of the worst songs in a musical, period. And more stating the time, I love you guys. But, you know, you had better material than Jungle Love. I'm just going to come out and say it right now. So, you want to make a film that's kind of like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band from 1978, where you took the Beatles catalog, who are, you know, objectively one of the greatest artists of all time, and you want to shit all over their legacy by making this piss-poor music, or this piss-poor movie based on their music? Fuck you. In Hollywood? Fuck you for wanting to do the same thing to Prince. Case, care to reel me back in before I get too mad?
I don't know a lot about Prince.
Fair enough.
Let me just move on to something that will make me rant.
You know what? Here, yes. I was gonna. You want? Yeah, okay. So the last story, we'll save that for the. Yeah. Please. You know what? Take it, man. It is all you.
Okay, so I will say that I am actually mostly positive about this news. But the Golden Globe nominations came out this week. I just want to touch on the fact that their categories make zero fucking sense in their movie aspect. Look, I know that they have a TV aspect that, honest to God, nobody gives a shit about because nobody watches. I mean, I don't watch those things. I want to watch these movies because this is essentially your first taste of what is going to get nominated at the Oscars. Definitely, there is a difference between the Golden Globes and the Oscars, and thank fuck for that, because if there was no difference, then we all be screwed because these. Okay. Anyway, they still want to fucking separate drama and musical or comedy, even though supporting actor or an actress doesn't make the separation. Screenplay actually is not separated. It's just 5 screenplay nominees. There's no adapted or original. It's just there is a screenplay category. Director is not separated. But for some fucking reason, we need to distinct the best pictures between drama and musical or comedy. And then when you do distinct them, you get in the category of drama Bohemian Rhapsody and A Star Is Born. I mean, I haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody yet, but I've seen A Star Is Born, and that's a music movie. Like, how is that not under musical? And then you see a couple under musical or comedy, and they seem more like drama movies. It's like I don't even think they're consistent with themselves. So just like Golden Globes make no fucking sense in their categories. Anyway, with that said, award season has started.
Yes. So that's the good news. No, and I was just gonna cover just 2 seconds where, okay, I get your frustration. I genuinely do, but Bohemian Rhapsody is a drama first and foremost, and a musical second. And this comes from someone who's seen the movie.
Okay, I've seen A Star Is Born, and yes, it has drama elements, but like, it is a musical. It has original songs.
It also is a drama first and foremost. Same thing with Bohemian Rhapsody. Which, again, if you disagree with that decision, then I'm actually right there with you. Like, genuinely. Like, Bohemian Rhapsody, in my opinion, it's not strong enough to warrant the nomination. A Star Is Born.
It's a damn good movie.
It's a damn good movie, and you know what? Okay, fair enough on the nomination. It won't get the win, and I'm okay with that.
No, that's okay.
But the thing is, that is one distinction that I do somewhat agree with you on. Like, I think musicals should be taken out of the. I personally think musicals should be taken out of the thing entirely, but that's just because traditionally musicals have leaned more towards comedy versus drama. It's only been in recent years where musicals have leaned more towards drama.
Yeah. So like the thing is that all the categories in Golden Globes, they're outdated. They don't make any sense anymore, and I think they just should do a little bit more like the Oscars, so that it makes a little bit more sense, and you have a little bit more of a feel what is going to get nominated at the Oscars. Now, still, movies that get nominated for the Golden Globes will carry over to the Oscars, but there have been pretty significant changes over the past couple of years, especially because like it has so many motion picture nominees in 2 categories that some of them don't even get nominated. Anyway, I also want to say that Black Panther has no reason of being nominated in any of these categories. The score is completely forgettable. No. I just want to say this, Pete. Black Panther is not that good of a movie. The only reason that it's nominated is because we need to be politically correct. We need to represent black people. Yes, I know that is important.
Wrong word
nowadays.
To use, but that's okay.
I know, but you get the fucking point. It's like the only reason it's nominated is because of what it represents, but not necessarily because it's a great movie, because in all honesty, Black Panther is not that great of a movie. Fucking Infinity War is a better movie, and it's not even nominated, not even close to any nominations, which is pissing me off. Like, people are craving fucking Michael B. Jordan to be nominated. Heck, he was not the best villain. I mean, Thanos was Josh Brolin as Thanos was a better performance than Michael B. Jordan in Black Panther. So I'm just a little pissed about the fact that Black Panther is getting nominations that it shouldn't get, and the only reason it's getting that is because of the representation. Then I'm
actually, I'll somewhat disagree with you on that one, because I actually found Michael B. Jordan to be honestly better than Thanos.
No.
I understood his motivation better. I thought he executed his performance better.
Oh no.
And granted, granted, again, difference of opinion. As far as the overall film goes, yes, of course, Infinity War is a better film, but from the historical standpoint, I hate to say it, dude, I'm on history's side with this one, because Black Panther is the more important film. Because you want to know what's going on.
I don't care. It's not the better film.
I know you don't. And again, I'm not. And obviously, I'm not trying to say you're a racist. And guys, please don't fucking say that, please. But
I'm not racist.
no,
I'm like,
no, and again, dude, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying.
No. But for the people who might think that, look, I'm not racist. I'm not against black people in film or whatever. It's just that I don't think Black Panther, regardless of their race in the movie, I just don't think the movie is good or that good. I mean, it's a fine movie. It's just, I've seen it twice and I kind of forget everything about it, including score and song, which it was also nominated for some fucking reason.
Which, in that department, I completely agree. I cannot hum back even one tune from it. But then again, I can't really hum back many tunes from scores and soundtracks these days anyway, just because I have a lot of music stuck in my head. So, but where the film made up for it, at least with me, was obviously all the performances and the direction and, you know, the setting of Wakanda, because, oh my god, I fucking love Wakanda. I love
Wakanda.
it.
Like, I love Wakanda in Infinity War, and I actually love most of the Black Panther stuff in both Infinity War and Civil War. It's just in the film itself of Black Panther, I didn't really care for it, but I don't know, maybe I'm weird.
I would say in this case, maybe you are just a little bit, but like, and obviously I'm not holding that against you because, you know, everybody interprets a film differently.
This is true.
And also, you know, and here's the thing, Case, also, because you don't live over here and you are not experiencing a lot of the racial tension in America firsthand.
That's true.
That's also true. Why maybe you don't quite understand. And
no,
to be honest,
true.
and to be honest, dude, I don't want you to understand. I really don't.
I don't either, to be fair. Like, there are just, like, in some cases, ignorance is bliss, you know?
So we actually have a couple of questions. Jonathan Peck asks, and you know what? Well, fuck it. Let's answer them now real quick.
Why
not? What do we think are the biggest snub of the Globes?
Well, that's the thing. I haven't really seen a whole lot of snubs. I think most of these are pretty on point. To be fair, I have not seen a whole lot of movies this year, and especially not an award. And the thing is, with a lot of these nominations, I haven't seen a lot of the movies nominated. So part of me is just excited to see some of these movies for the fact that they got the nomination.
Yeah, exactly. Same. You know, and actually, yeah, I'm the same way because by this point I should have seen, because by this point last year I'd seen about 60 films. I have not even seen 30 this year. And
same
that's
for
just
me.
Because of how busy I've been. So, but Jonathan also does ask a follow-up, and what do we think of the TV side of the Globes? Look, dude, I'm wrong person to ask.
Yeah, sorry, same here. I've seen the nominations. It's just I don't watch any of the shows that have been nominated, so I cannot tell you anything about it.
Also, the cool guy, thank you for joining the chat. How are you doing tonight, man? Okay, so we do have one last news story, and again, going back to awards season, I don't know how to feel about this one, to be completely honest. Because in the past 48 hours, it was because for a little while now we've known that Kevin Hart was supposed to be the host for this upcoming year's Academy Awards in 2019. And in the past 48 hours, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding some old tweets that have basically set him up as homophobic and very much anti-LGBTQ. Now, in the past, he has apologized for said tweets, but he is still stepping down as the result of probably what sounds like a misunderstanding, where the Academy asked him to apologize, but he already has done so. I don't know, like, Case, am I crazy in thinking that there's a bigger picture here that we're missing as far as this particular news story?
I don't know what the bigger picture is. I think this just goes back to the James Gunn situation, being fired from Guardians Volume 3. There were tweets, seriously, like how tweets can influence the fucking world these days. There were tweets made years ago by someone that he has publicly apologized for, and now, because of the fact that he made those tweets, and they are like, we want you to apologize for them, and he kind of already did, and they're still gonna fucking not. And the thing is that they worded it way too nice. Kevin Hart is stepping down. Fuck off. You fired him. You made sure that Kevin, seriously, the people who are in charge of the Oscars made sure that Kevin Hart is not hosting. He did not step down of his own accord. You forced him to do so. So, I don't, seriously, yes, sometimes I make statements myself that make me look maybe sexist or racist or whatever. Like, I am not. I know that I'm not. Maybe I look that way because of statements made, but it's fucking horseshit what you're doing right now, and this is just ruining the Oscars. Kevin Hart would have been a great host for the Oscars, and you're only ruining it because you need to be so fucking politically correct. This pisses me the fuck off.
Now, actually, I disagree because I don't find Kevin Hart funny in the slightest, but to be fair, at the same time, I do have to wonder, because to be honest, I actually haven't seen the tweets of which he was accused. Like, I don't know. Is there... There has to be more to this. There has to be more to this. Am I crazy for thinking that?
I don't know. I don't care, really.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough, Mr. Grumpy. But...
Oh, I'm not grumpy. It's just like... You appoint someone as seriously. When did they appoint Kevin Hart to become the host of the Oscars? A couple of months ago, right? Yep. Why didn't they check before appointing him as the host for those tweets? Why do they dig up those tweets months later when he has already been confirmed for a while?
Actually, that's a great question. Then why didn't they confirm James Gunn before they hired him for the first Guardians? Why
exactly. Because they're stupid. I don't know. I'm just being annoyed by people who need to be so fucking politically correct with all their decisions.
Well, see, I don't know if politically correct is the right term for it. Because I would say more just being on... trying to avoid controversy, I think. That to me makes a little more sense.
If you're trying to avoid controversy, why the hell do you nominate Bohemian Rhapsody? Why the hell do you nominate Baby Driver? Like, seriously, they continue to nominate movies that have controversy around them. But yes, you want to avoid the controversy by not having the host there. I don't fucking know. It's really pissing me off how what they want to do.
Well, maybe. It's hard for me specifically to say because I feel like there's... Oh, that's right. Jonathan Peck also actually does bring up a fair point, where is that I think it's just because he didn't apologize when the Academy asked him to. Which, granted, did he have to do that? No. But he probably should have played ball just this one time to save face. But I don't know. Like, it is a tricky mistress if ever there was one. But I don't know. I think it's time, though, we start switching this over to a different conversation. And, guys, I think we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in about 3 minutes or so. And we'll be back with a good buddy of mine, Rob Miliaresis, from New York, or from Stamford, Connecticut, just to make sure I get that correct. And we'll be right back after this. Enjoy the break.
Like, throughout the episode, I was really enjoying the chemistry. They you. I know what you're doing. Chris, how
champion as we get going here. That is round number.
That is dumb action movies.
I did give him their first loss. So, like, we're just a really strong team. We really they'll give us the fight of life.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Sorry about the awkward transition there, but hey, we're back. We're back from our first ever break on the new updated version of the Who Cares Anime podcast. And like I said during, at the top of the show, guys, we have a guest. We have a great guest who's an old friend of mine from college and all around a great dude. And,
okay.
and he did correct me on pronunciation, but I know I'll fuck this up again. But Robert Miliaresis from Miliaresis. God damn it, you're right. From
suck, Chris.
From the Mangold Music Foundation, dude. How the fuck have you been, man?
I've been good, man. So to talk about the organization a little bit, what we do is we collect ukuleles and guitars, or actually, really, what I should say is we buy them outright from donations, and then we go to the pediatric divisions of hospitals, be that Yale, New Haven, Sloan, Maria Ferrari, Montefiore in the Bronx. We're supposed to go to St. Jude's sometime in January or February, but we're still talking to them and hashing all that out. But we go to the pediatric departments. We do a whole day. We give out free ukuleles, free guitars, and lessons the whole day to all the kids there. Be that, as I've taught kids as young as 3 and 4 to kids, 18. Sometimes we'll find an adult that, is in the middle of treatment, and we'll just, we'll take the time out to do stuff like that. We're blessed because we have a lot of really good donators that help us out over in Greenwich and then like New York and stuff. But really it's this guy Charlie Mangold who set the whole thing up, and he's the founder and the president of this. And we started working together in Greenwich when I was teaching out there. I was teaching guitar and piano out there, and he brought me into this organization. And then there's a whole process of buying the instruments, branding the instruments, cleaning the instruments, sealing the instruments, getting to the hospital with like 30 ukuleles, 7 half-size nylon string guitars, going to clean rooms where you scrub down and everything. It's a whole thing, but it's probably one of the most rewarding things I've ever done, and it lets me like bring music in the way that I teach to other kids that would otherwise not have access to it. They've got so much going on, being there, going through what they're going through. They might as well get a fucking day off. Sorry to curse, but you know what I mean? They deserve that time to just do something normal. Have no one talk about what's going on. Just, we're going to treat you like a person today. And that's what today's about. And that's what he gives me that opportunity to do that.
Dude, that's... Okay. Wow. That was a lot coming at me, but hey.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. It's all good. It's
I
all
had
good.
time
It's all
to
good.
prepare my little piece. I don't like to talk too much. So no.
Oh no, and I get that. And I respect that, but let's break that down for just a moment, for just a little bit. So now, do you meet Charlie Mangold when you're still teaching, or are you?
Oh yeah, we were coworkers. We were literally coworkers. I actually don't teach at that same location anymore because, like, frankly, I got a better offer to teach at 2 other places. But we met there. Okay. We still teach together. He lives over in Greenwich. I live in Stamford, and we gig in the city. We gig down at this bar in Greenwich actually every Wednesday or Thursday. But that's like a freebie gig. That's like I show up, play a couple of shows for 3 hours, get fed, get $100 in my pocket, and like get drinks for free. It's one of those gigs. And
nice.
Like I like the free drinks part.
Yeah, that's it. Like, so I'm just sitting there like playing my like they like jazz and kind of funk over there because that's the way the Greenwich people are. Go figure, right? But I'll sit there with my Jameson right next to me and just like diddling away. And speaking of the devil,
I'll say as
Charlie, that guy's texted me.
As you've been one to do for a very long time. No, dude. So like, no, and I remember, we talked for like the first time in a couple of years, about a month or so ago, and you told me about this. And I'm like, dude, that is so fucking cool, because.
And it's all volunteer too. Like, we don't get anything out of this. We put in a lot of time. Like, you'd be surprised how long it takes getting all the instruments tuned, set up, branded for the organization, and then cleaned and sealed. Like, Charlie and I we'll meet up on like a Saturday or Sunday, and we'll knock out like 30 or 40 in the course of 4 or 5 hours straight. And then, we'll be drinking beer, some hanging out and talking about the business, but like, we'll just knock out in a day or two. But it's like, straight, you think about it, it's like it adds up.
Okay, nice. And Now, and then like, and I know you mentioned like St. Jude's and like some of the other people have been donating for that, but like, where do you normally get your funding from to make this happen?
To be frank, actually, we host fundraisers where I organize local talent. Like, I'll find classic guys like for either Motown. We'll host events basically, and then our donators will come to our events where we provide free food, this and that. A sign that we care, and that we care that these are the people that support us. And it's true, we would be nothing without them. But we host these events, and that's where we make most of our donated money. Otherwise, we'll do live events on Facebook or like Twitter where they'll match us.
Okay.
That's happened. Then Amazon Smile, like if you type in Amazon.com/smile, or I think it's .smile, something like that, and then you look up our organization, every time you purchase something, $1 goes to us, right? There's tons of different ways. Like we have all these little things that we do to get money, and then at the end of the day, it comes down to like we just made a friend. I really can't divulge names because that would be inappropriate.
That's fine.
But we made a friend who like just gave us 100 ukuleles. He just paid for 100 right off the bat.
Dude,
right?
we cut loose. You can swear. You can swear.
Okay, so you know what I mean. You'll meet people like that who all of a sudden they see what you're doing, like they'll see us in action and be like, okay, you guys need inventory. I'm okay money wise. Let me help you. And frankly, that's what it comes down to. We're a non-profit. We're not making. I don't get paid to do this. Charlie doesn't take a single check. He's the president of a national, recognized 501c3 charity, right? He doesn't take a dime. I think one time I saw him buy a coffee for himself before we were on our way to a hospital, and we just didn't have another. It was something stupid like that. He doesn't, he's that kind of guy. But so mainly, like I said, it's private backers and good intentioned people. It's like any foundation, you can't, I'm trying to think if the government does anything, but we don't get anything from them.
I mean, like the government can give you donations as far as
tax exemption stuff,
yeah,
but we already have all that because we're a 501. So
exactly. So you've already done all the necessary paperwork for that.
Yeah.
But like, so honestly, like outside of the fact that you met Charlie and you guys are coworkers, and this was obviously you guys knew each other off the bat, like. What is it about doing this that for you is the most satisfactory thing about it?
So I understand the question you're really asking me, but it's weird to answer that question. I'll tell you a quick story about. So there's 3 kids that I think about when I think about this organization, and this is 100% true. The first kid I think about is the first kid I ever met, and the first kid I ever met, I can't say names, but the first kid I ever met was 7. And he was at Montefiore. Maria Ferrari. Sorry, God. The name's of the hospital. Maria Ferrari, which that's...
It's all good.
It's in Greenwich, or it might be right over the New York border. And it's right around there. It's the story of like the one of the people who owned Ferrari, his wife, their kid had this illness and it didn't get taken care of because there was no one in the area that was specialized in this, and so they opened up a whole fucking children's hospital, because of their kid, having a bad time. And my first kid was there, and you always kind of remember the first person you meet when that kind of scene unfolds, because like you're putting on face masks, you're cleaning up like all the way up to your wrists, the whole thing, like It's everything, and you can imagine me with my long hair up, in a net and stuff, so it's not, in the way of anything, because you're trying to keep foreign bodies away from the area. So I remember him very well. The second kid I think about is the first kid I watched leave a hospital. You don't get the chance to watch many children leave the hospital, and I got that chance once. It was after doing this for like 4 or 5 months. I went to her room, her private room. And she didn't even know she was leaving that day. Gave her a guitar lesson after her treatment. Turns out it's her last treatment. And I do a group activity afterwards with all the inpatients. She wasn't, there. And I'm watching her leave the hospital in this wheelchair with a guitar that I just gave her, with this big shit-eating grin on her face, and she's done with this bullshit, right? And the feeling of just like, Fuck yes. It's undescribable. I don't know how more pure I can be about that fuck yes emotion, but like that's just how it was. It was just one of the most rewarding
awesome.
things that's ever happened to me. Then there's the third. There's actually 4 people I think about now because now I think about there's this new kid, Joe. Okay, I was almost about to say his name. Oops. But the third kid I was thinking about is the first time I noticed someone hadn't left and their room was empty, and that was different. Because the reality of this thing is that there are a lot of those stories, and I remember being there at the same hospital not 3 or 4 months, no, 2 months before, and they were doing okay, and we did our lesson, and then I saw them, again after that, and then when I came back, I think the third time to Yale. They hadn't been discharged. I had just recently seen them, and all of a sudden the room is empty. And they don't tell you because they're not supposed to, but everybody knows. It's one of those unspoken things that, like, for respect, you don't talk about it, but like it happens, and that's very like different because I'm 24. I'm a young little jackass, No, I am though. Think about it. We all are, frankly. You know,
we are.
Look at an actual life. And these are children that kid was 7 with lymphoma. Yeah, and it is what it is. I don't mean to say that so harshly. It's just that's what I say to help me get through it. But the other kid the last kid, the one that popped in my mind while I was thinking about this, is this kid that I met. He's 4. When we first met him, he was on 5 chemos. He hadn't walked in 4 months, and he was 4. And when we met him, me and Charlie went in there. That's the picture I sent you privately, Chris. The one with me in the face mask. That's that picture.
Yep.
So he walked for the first time in 3 months to come hang out with us and play music. He got up from his bed and walked his first steps in 3 months because he hadn't been. He had been just bedridden. He's now only on 2 chemos. We came special for him again. He's getting better. So there's a little silver lining, right?
That's awesome.
So we're all hoping for him. We're gonna make another special visit to him. He's over at CHAM, at the Children's Hospital at Montefiore. That's in the Bronx on Gun Hill Road, something like that.
Okay, nice.
But he's a good kid. He's a strong kid.
That's awesome, dude. Like, holy shit. And to think, literally, like when we first met, like 5 years ago.
Well, I'm still that metalhead.
Oh, you are still that metalhead. That's why I fucking love you, man. But like, But no, but like, dude, you are accomplishing the kind of shit that like,
I'm doing fucking nothing, dude. These kids are doing everything. Like, I know how to play guitar. Big freaking whoop. I'm showing kids how to play guitar and ukulele. I could teach anybody to play ukulele. I could teach someone who has limited hand mobility ukulele. Oh, I should also say the foundation, we don't sit there and like draw lines as in like we're only going to help these particular kids. I also do kids in crisis in Norwalk, where we meet impoverished children or kids in crisis for after school activities. We also personally go out to special cases. We're not going to sit there and go, oh, well, this kid doesn't fit our parameters, so I'm not going to help him and bring him music. Like, screw that. I mean, that's some, like, that's also a fair part to us. Charlie and I, we're not about that. We're not going to sit there and go, you deserve help and you don't deserve help. No, I have the inventory, I have the ability, and I have the means to help you. Why the hell am I not going to help you?
Yeah. No, dude. And again, that's...
All thanks should go to him. Don't talk about me. Like it's all him. He makes this shit happen, And I don't know where he came up with this, but it's his baby. And I'm just happy to help him.
I was about to say, well, now Case, as seeing as how, speaking of a passion of yours being your baby and this being our baby, is there something you had a question for Rob while he's here?
No. So I'm just listening to the story.
Okay.
And trying to wrap my head. I don't have anything to ask really. This is just let him do a story.
Not a problem, man. Not a problem.
We don't have to just talk about this. We could, after we get done with my whole pretty much like lecture about Mangold music. Let's talk about other stuff and like chill out. But
No, absolutely, and and to be fair, I really only have like one other question like that's directly related to it, and that being, what is your like I know that Charlie probably has his own vision for the future of the company, but like, what is your personal vision of stuff you'd like to see accomplished through this work?
Our next goal is St. Jude's. So we're in talks with them to go down to. They're gonna actually fly me and Charlie special, or no, someone else is flying us out there to meet them. But he's affiliated with St. Jude's, and they're flying us down to Tennessee to do what we do down there for a week or a couple of days at least, and then see the area and help them in their like therapy division, I guess you could call it. By the way, we're getting involved with that. That's our next step. But long term, what we're hoping to do is like to be honest, we have 2 other board members. Charlie's a board member. That is 4 people. The entire organization. People of all the finances, and a lot of the like organization of our online. Someone handles emceeing and like organizing and like being in charge of those events. We do it. I'm the educator, and Charlie's the president. Charlie and I are the ones that go to hospitals. That's right. We do have a team standing behind us of 20 people that are helping me and him do this. We have me and Charlie have 2 other people, and that's it. So what I would love to see is like we're the headquarters of this organization in like the Northeast in New York, Connecticut, Greenwich, wherever the hell we are, right, at the time. Then we have another one over at like the West Coast, and they can charter all the pediatric departments over there. Then we could have one in the Midwest, the Southwest, you know what I mean? The 4 major regions. And then if we get 4, we can continue to go to sub-regions and start to specialize. But, that's so far off in the future. I couldn't possibly, like, sit there and try to plan that out. That'd be like,
No, okay, so it's funny you mention that because, like, you're doing the kind of shit that I personally could only fucking dream of. Like, because I recently started a new job where I now work for a life insurance company, and we do a lot of, no-cost benefits for the community. Like, we offer a lot of, like, free will kits, child-safe kits where you can put all your children's information and whatnot in one convenient place, and then we also have, like, what's called a health service discount card, and basically they get free discounts on like vision shit or chiropractic services. Like, sure, that's great and all, but
that would help me. You remember the whole thing about my eyes?
yeah, that would help you. Which, by the way, has that been getting better, or is
how does going blind and I get any better?
Fair enough. But
that's okay.
Well, just meaning, like, is it getting control?
It's not getting worse.
Okay. So and that's good because, like, to be honest, dude, like, I'm kind of worried about you in that department, man. But
the other thing I talked about with you, that other thing, that's okay too. They did some second opinions. I'm gonna be just fine. But I remember now what you're talking about because I told you about the other thing that I shouldn't talk about in a podcast, right?
Dude, honestly, like, this is the kind of show.
You remember
we don't give a
with
shit.
you remember the stuff with my lungs? I told you about that briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the second opinion. They're like, no, just stop being a dumbass with the smoke, And I'm just being a good boy and not giving in to my vice. So I love you. But you remember I used to smoke so many damn cigarettes over. Yeah, exactly. Because you remember, we would all come down from the second floor over wherever we were, either the lesson room, and then everybody would meet at the 2 locations. We all smoke our cigarettes.
Yep.
And then if you sat there and didn't have a cigarette long enough, someone would come around and you could bum a cigarette.
Exactly, and they could just give you a cigarette.
Do you remember the 3 homeless guys that would come around and then take the butts of, like, the cigarette tray from us? And then we all felt bad, too, so we would, like...
Yeah, no, and, like, okay.
It didn't help because we were being too nice. They kept coming back because we were so nice about it.
Yep. And
then, then they warned us. Then the administration told us not to do it anymore.
Okay, now, guys, to everybody in the chat, I'm just going to make this perfectly clear. Like, look, I'm not gonna tell you don't take pity on those less fortunate
and
than
that's
you.
exactly what I was saying too. Is like we couldn't not do it, but it was really screwing over the school.
Yeah, and it was just it was kind of a fucked system the way that it was set up because first off they shouldn't have. Well, okay, to be fair, one of the spots it wasn't fenced in, so for the non-fenced in part, they.
Yeah, what can you say? Exactly.
It was fair game. It was open game.
Now, the fenced-in part, I do understand their argument there.
Yeah, but considering that nobody wanted to smoke outside the fenced-in part because that was the lame part of school. But
do you remember Steve Terranova?
Oh yeah.
Wait for this. I love him. He messaged me maybe a couple months ago about his new album or something. And
nice.
Anybody who knows him should check that out. He's awesome. But he would do that chain that thing, and he would just keep smoking cigarette one after another. He'd beg people to stay outside with him to smoke another. Just one more cigarette. Chain.
Dude, bad idea. Bad idea. You don't do that. You just straight up don't do that.
He would smoke, I shit you not, 5 cigarettes straight through. He would use 30 minutes of his brain just smoking cigarettes. But you know what it is? He got used to smoking so many cigarettes playing League of Legends. You just sit there playing and you have the cigarette going the entire time. Or you watch me play guitar and I'll have the cigarette outside my mouth while I'm playing and I'm not thinking about it.
Oh man.
Funny. We were not the best of kids in college.
No, we weren't. We were not. Okay, and yes, guys. Like I said when I introduced him, I've known. That's how we met. We met at the same college. We met at McLellan Smith College of Music, and
rest in peace.
Rest in peace, because God damn it.
Yeah.
Look, I'd like to think that
I can't believe how crazy that was. I saw. I just so you know, all the way in New York. We got news of this happening because it was so quick how the students were and the next morning they went to go to class and the doors were locked. That's how it was. It was just no warning, no nothing. The housing, remember they said the housing, kids were being told they had 3 days to get out of their dorms. Yeah. Imagine that, all right? I was already gone. I was scot-free. I lucked out, but damn.
Yeah, and I had not been there in almost 3 years at the time, and I'm just fuck. Just when I was about ready to go back, just when I was about ready to finally finish. Yeah.
All right. This is my question for you. I have a level 2 engineering pass that I purposely got so that I could come back and record whenever I wanted to. So what happened with that level 2?
Hey man, I had a level 4, so what the fuck?
That was actually your study, because I was just a guitar player. I was a guitar performance major. I decided to get up to level 2 so that I could sign my shit out for me. I wouldn't have to go bother someone else. You know what I mean? That was my whole motivation, is I just wanted to be able to book time and be able to use the quasi-good stuff. You guys were able to pull out everything. But I was level 2, I could get into the room with the Tritons. And that's all I cared about. It's just getting in that room. Get me in that room, and I can cable everything up. I'm good. But I need to be able to get into the room. That was level 2.
And whereas for me, I was Mr. Cool with my, nice little, SL duality console, 48 channel.
You were able to pull up this shit they would have to bring in repair every time someone used it.
Pretty much, because, look, as much as I really love the equipment at our school, that shit was falling apart.
Oh my god! Well, they was all hand-me-downs.
It was.
They did spend a lot of money on the 3 Triton systems. Remember how expensive each one of those is. It's up there. They were advertising. They easily spent $1 million on, or not $1 million, but $700,000 on just the recording studios. That was a major pool for the school. That rhymed. I didn't think it was gonna.
Yes, it did rhyme, but you know what? Well done, sir, because. You are a songwriter in your spare time, and
yeah, I do arrangements for those companies I told you about.
Yep, and actually, and you know what? Let's get into that for just a second here. While I got you. So now, and that's essentially how you make your money in your spare time. That's why you're able to keep doing what you're doing.
So this lovely computer that I'm using right now. Anybody who ever wants to arrange, this is very simple. You can make a ton of money. Buy Finale. Get a keyboard that you can hook up to aforementioned computer. It will dictate to you. Thank you, Hyperscribe, right? Sell your shit as in string sections and like, you know, piano sections that's it. That's all I do. I lock myself in my room. They give me an amount of time for the song. They give me a key. They give me a general idea of what they're looking for. I send them version 1. They send it back and go, we like this amount of it, but we want this part changed to fit this. You do the whole back and forth a couple times, and boom, money.
Pretty much, and you know, it's certainly an industry that I, you know, much like Rob, I could see myself doing very easily because I constantly have ideas. I mean, hell, just right now, literally, no joke, I'm just fingering a couple of piano chords, and I'm just, you know, figuring out a progression that could work.
Do you finger those chords?
Oh, yeah, you damn right I do.
Oh, we went there.
Oh, come on. I mean, I'm trying to make you laugh, so you start talking to me.
Yeah, so like, you know, but like, and obviously Rob and I have, you know, we ourselves have collaborated several times on musical projects that sadly never took off while we were in college.
I helped you, admittedly, like I helped you with like 1 or 2 songs. It's not like we like. I would have done more. Don't get me wrong, but it's like we were crazy. Like all of our time was like going to class and everything. You remember that classical teacher I had, Ava? She would run us through the kills of the song. No, she was amazing. Best classical teacher I've ever had.
That's right. No, sorry. I'm thinking of.
Don't get me wrong. I loved her. I loved all my teachers. I didn't have a problem with any of my teachers, and especially the music theory guys, because I would sleep in that class, and so long as I got an A, they did not care.
I was gonna say, because you were already prepped, but no.
Well,
what teacher am I thinking
when I was a little kid, you know, so I would sit there, and my dad taught me.
Yeah,
I know.
Fuck her. Like, look,
yeah.
she and here's the thing. She knew her shit. But I didn't like the way she specifically spoke to me in a very condescending tone. I'm like, dude.
She was condescending in general, but I think that's just because she, like, you know, think about the era of when she was a musician. Women were kind of, like, not treated great in the industry, especially when they were good, and especially when they knew their shit. And so she was kind of, like, hardy because of that.
Which, you know, and again, I completely understand that. And I 100%, you know, respect her accomplishments. But, dude, don't fucking treat me like I'm one of them. Don't fucking do that.
What do you mean by one of them?
Assholes.
No, I get it. I do. Because there were. You remember?
Oh, no. He cut off for a second. Oh, shit. Hold on. Give him a second, guys.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
No.
Is the connection?
Okay.
I hear something.
Is the connection back?
Okay, we're back.
Is it back?
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Keep going, Rob.
This is what happens with
What
live
happened
streaming.
there?
No idea. It just happens from time to time sometimes.
I hope it's not me.
It wasn't you. It wasn't you.
Okay, so where did it cut me off? What the hell was I saying?
So I had made a point about Burke, but it was starting to turn positive.
I was gonna ask you if you had done choir.
I had not.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if you were required to. All the performance majors were required to do choir. So, because I'll tell you about, I don't remember my choir teacher's name. I don't. I'll be frank with you.
Didn't you have? Or wait, you either had Jay or Lori.
No, I had. Oh yeah, thank you guys.
Lori Dawkins. Yep.
It was Lori Dawkins. So she's
awesome.
She is awesome, but she was funny because oh my god. So, you know, for the most part, she's the chillest freaking teacher, right?
Yes.
And she is super knowledgeable, super, like, experienced in the field. This is the kind of girl you want teaching you, even if it's not your subject. You know what I mean? She just knows so much that you're going to learn something. Well, there are some, let's call them rowdy apples in choir, right? She gave the business like nobody fucking other. It was beautiful to watch her work when she was mad. It was just like, have you ever seen someone who's like they're smart when they're mad, and they berate someone, but not condescendingly. They just like do it tactfully.
Ah, okay.
Yes. So she was like that, and I witnessed it a few times, but it is a art to be to just watch. It's great.
Okay.
Hands down,
Nice.
10 out of 10, favorite teacher.
Oh my god, dude! Holy shit! My
Oh, maybe ODB, Old Dirty Bastard. Remember him too, Tim Lyles? Like, that's the guitar teacher.
Okay.
He
I
had a
never
love-hate
never
relationship.
had the pleasure, but I seriously, I talked to him like once every other day outside of class, and it's just, dude,
Oh, yeah. He was my private teacher for a while.
he drove me up the fucking wall, but I wanted to learn from him so badly.
So yeah, he was my private teacher for a while, and he and I had a very love-hate relationship. As in, I hated the amount of work he gave me, but loved the way he would just like piss me off to doing it right. Like he would do this thing where it was like, you didn't play it right there. It's like, I know, I'm doing it again, and he would just like berate me about it. But he also like, I don't know, things would happen with him. Like he would ask me to like do like a solo, for example, and he would go, okay, you gotta use this chord shape here, this chord shape here, this chord shape here, this chord shape here, and it would be in class. I wasn't paying attention because, let's be frank, it's college. I was stoned all the time. All right.
Of course.
So that being aside, it would come to me. It'd be my turn to solo, and then I would do that thing that he asked, where I'd use the chord shapes. But I wouldn't, like, he would ask for just like da 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 da. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Do re mi fa, like, but whatever chord, it would be like the 1 3 4 5 1 3 5 7, and then go back down. I would hit all those notes, but I would actually make it a damn solo because I was losing my mind otherwise. But that would happen because I wasn't paying attention. And one time, I noticed everybody was doing the same thing, but I was so stoned I didn't pay any damn attention. Right? It gets to me, and I crank out this solo. That I was listening to the backing track the entire time in the back of my head, and I nailed this solo. So much so that I did the thing he asked, and the room went silent. Silent. You could hear a pin drop. Now, they were all waiting for him to kill me, right? And all he goes is, you know, that wasn't what I asked for, but that was a good solo, so we're going to let that slide. My bad. Anybody else, he would have castrated him. But, like, it just so happened, like, he was like, you know what? I liked that, so you know what? You get a pass. It's like, I want to listen to that. I was like, oh, thank you. I loved him. He was my other favorite teacher.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. Okay, so we're gonna start to wind things down here, but before you go, there's two things I want to get across. One, and this is for a case to understand like why you and I are such good friends and how our bond like truly grew as college continued on. And this is something that honestly I know we've talked about, but I completely forgot. Why the fuck would you always pick Link in Smash Bros?
Because Link's the best character. Did I ever lose a game of Smash Brothers?
Rarely.
Once in 4 years.
Wait,
wanna know
what version?
Melee.
Every version.
Melee,
Or
okay,
Brawl, or
okay.
Melee, Brawl. You want to know where I started with Smash Brothers? Nintendo fucking 64. I have been playing Smash.
Of course. Where else do you start?
Exactly. Like, right? I play Link because he is the best character. Like, they don't rank him as the best, but if you play Link right, you could never be hit. Like, I could... Okay, Chris, you remember this. People would come at me with a hammer. I wouldn't even dodge. I just take one step backwards, a hook shot, and then you're across the cliff. Or how about the time that we all had 4 lives? It was 4v4 free-for-all, and I didn't lose a single life. And then the last guy just walked off the cliff because he didn't want to deal with me killing him again.
Oh my god! No, that was Alex.
Yeah,
that was Alex.
I pissed him off.
That's right. Yeah, because it was you,
Yep.
me. I think it was AJ and Steve, or no, and Alex. Because Steve.
I am dirty in that game. Link is the best character. Think about it this way. I have infinite items. Oh, you're coming at me? Arrow. Oh, you're throwing something at me? Bomb to kill him. Oh, I need you to get from this side of the map to the other. You're jumping? Oh, boomerang. And it's carrying you away from me. How about, remember what I used to do too? I would get a bomb, throw it far, in the air, grab an arrow, shoot the bomb.
Motherfucker!
So it would fuck up your attack, and then guess where I am? I'm right in your face with a sword.
Yep. How could I forget that?
Oh, how about this one? How about I would throw a bomb in the air, catch it with the boomerang, and have it go to you. I was dirty. I haven't played in a while, but my friends just got Smash Ultimate. And ooh, my blood is starting to warm up again.
No, literally, my brother, my best friend, he just picked up Smash Bros. Ultimate, and literally tomorrow night after I'm done with work.
Yep. Tomorrow night we're hosting a thing at my house. I'm having a game night, and someone already brought the adapter for GameCube controllers.
God.
They already got it. I have the same GameCube controller I've had for 8 years.
So you do realize that the next time you and I actually hang out, it's on.
Yeah, I know.
It's on.
Oh yeah, and you know what
Donkey Kong is actually a character in the game.
Yes.
Yes.
What character? Hey, well, Chris, you know what character I'll be playing as?
God damn it! And sadly, you know who I'll default to?
Who?
See, back in college, I had this little phase where I was determined to be Darth Marth.
Yes. And I kept telling you that Darth Marth is too slow to hit me. The only character that can hit me consistently is Fox. And yeah, you're right. You're right, because the one time I did play as Fox, I actually stood a chance. For a while.
Okay, so maybe you should pick Fox rather than Marth is good.
Marth's good too, but just like he's like imagine Link versus Ganondorf. It's ironic because like Link is good every time. Ganondorf is so damn slow.
but that was
Marth
was
is
kind of
slow.
Well, yeah, but lest we forget, Ganondorf was essentially made to just be a slightly more powerful clone of Captain Falcon.
Yes, frankly, yeah.
Which Captain Manlove.
I shouldn't say this because you'll get good at him for the next time we face, but the best character to defeat Link is probably Olimar, whatever his name is, with the little minions. And the reason why is like he can shoot those little minions as fast as I can pull out arrows.
That's true. So, see, and that's why luckily for you, I don't have the patience for Olimar.
So my best friend, one of my best friends, I should say, he always plays Olimar or what's his name, Game & Watch? Yeah, Game & Watch.
Game & Watch, yep.
What I have to do when he plays Olimar is I hold the shield out a little bit extra and wait for that last attack to bounce off the shield with a natural guard.
Ah, yes.
He makes me have to think about how I'm going to attack him because Olimar can mess Link up. It's the craziest thing. It's also all the ones with the small hitboxes. Like my other buddy loves to play Pikachu because it's just got a small hitbox. If he can get me into the air, I'm going to have a hard time getting back down. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Because it's just going to be lightning after lightning after lightning after lightning.
Which, oh, shit. Okay. It wasn't Alex who played... Ben Bush. He loved to play as Pikachu and do that. Oh, what a bitch.
Do you remember who the other Link player was? He was my roommate and when we had the townhouse.
Blake
was the other Link. And the only time he wouldn't play Link is when he played with me because he knew I would beat him as Link v Link. He 1v1 me a lot. We won every single one of those championships in the dorm rooms. Me and Blake teamed up because we were the best. So we were like, hey, do you want free shit for the next 4 years? Yeah, I want free shit. It's like, team up.
True.
It's scary to see two Links spawn at the same time.
Sadly, yes, it is. Okay. And... So I do actually have just one last question for you.
Yeah, all right, that was great. I miss Smash.
Dude, oh my god, I fucking miss Smash. Like, okay, granted, and we all got so pissed off at each other. It wasn't even funny.
Remember I forget who it was, but someone was infuriated with me to the point they kept playing me again and again and again, and I just kept beating them.
AJ.
And it got madder. AJ, yeah, and he got madder and then finally he took the controller and walked out. I was like, dude,
literally, he the poor son of a bitch was legitimately pissed about it. I'm like, dude.
I understood, but I was like, dude, do you want me to give you the win? No, you want to earn the win.
Yes.
Right? So beat me. Because my friends can beat me. My friend Matt, he can consistently beat me because he uses tactics the way I use tactics.
And see,
it's always close between me and him. It always comes down to who got the better items. And if we do no items, it's always down to the last slide. But Matt can beat me.
It also depends on the map somewhat.
we're very picky about the maps we'll play on because we don't like the bullshit maps. Matt and I will typically play on a map that if there are changes on the map, it's not gonna fuck you over. Like it just makes the battle funner.
So literally, Big Blue is just off the table.
Oh, Big Blue never happens ever.
We think it's so many fun
bullshit.
times on Big Blue.
You're right. There was a few times of Big Blue that I lost because it was Big Blue. You know.
Like seriously, when I'm playing Smash, I just want the most regular fucking map where you.
Thank you. You know what my favorite
where
map
you
is?
just have one platform.
Yes. You know what my favorite map is? It's basically that map that's one platform and it has the one floating platform that does this. It moves all the way over here.
Final Destination. Yeah.
No, it is Final Destination, but it's another one because it's got this little platform that goes.
Fuck.
You both know the one I'm talking about.
I know. I just can't remember the name.
You all know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. And guys, feel free to correct us in the chat below.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know.
But no, so okay. Now, and like you mentioned when you first joined on, like, you know, we're still relatively young. You know, we're we're barely halfway through our 20s, but
we are halfway through our 20s.
Yeah, we're all exactly.
True. But what do you feel like you still want to accomplish, while whether it's musically, personally, or in any form of your life? Like, what do you personally still want to accomplish?
I mean, I want to be a millionaire. Who else? But I don't know. I think people like play. It's good to plan for the future. I'm not gonna say it's not. That's not where I'm going with this. But I think people sit there and like you make these unrealistic goals and these like dreams of aspirations that you want to do. And there's nothing necessarily, frankly, wrong with that. But that's not really the way I think. The way I think is like, okay, where do I want to be in 6 months from now? Where do I want to be a year from now? Like right now, I got a place. I'm okay. Like, you know, I might do a cruise ship gig. My life is very transient. I take music where I want to go. I do what I want to do. Typically, like, I have to be around the Northeast so that I could do 2 hospital visits a month. But if I wanted to take 2 months off and go on a cruise and play on a cruise for 2 months, fuck it. I want to go do that. I'm going to go do that. And I deserve to do that. One of my friends lives in Colorado. I'm gonna either drive, probably more like fly out there, and we're gonna go snowboard on the Rockies. I want to live life. I'm 25. I'm not gonna be able to do all the crazy shit I want to do much longer. You know, eventually I'm gonna want to settle down. I want to have kids. I want to be stuck there doing the kids thing until I'm 50, and then I'm gonna want to retire. I'm not gonna want to jump off a helicopter with a snowboard. I'm not gonna want to go bungee jump. I'm not gonna want to dive like I do. I dive. I love to dive. I'm not going to want to go do that and go down to 120 feet. I'm not going to want to do all this crazy stuff. So when you ask me, what do I want to do as I get older? I want to do all that shit I should be doing while I'm 25. And then, like, settle the hell down. I just want what anybody wants. I want to do what I want to, you know? I want life.
Well, and it's actually very humbling to hear you say that because, like, literally, like, to be honest, I only really have 2 goals for myself. One is there's a script that I've been working on with this guy.
You talked to me about this.
Yep.
You know, and I want to finish that.
Finish it and produce it.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And the other thing too is I have a 3-part album that's
you told me about that too.
And I really want to fucking finish it. And
you should.
And
like,
and I know I have the story laid out. I have the ideas for the songs. It's just the problem is I don't have the money needed to just set aside the time. Like, because obviously, sadly, the world just revolves around fucking money. And and granted, I'm making excuses. I'm totally making excuses. But that's why I plan on taking as best advantage of this new career opportunity that I have to make some money in a relatively fast amount of time and then set aside 6 months, roughly, to do nothing but write.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I think that's like setting yourself up for defeat in a way. And the reason I say that is just because like you work, right? And you've got this goal that when you get to, let's say January, right? Let's just pick a month, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Let's call it January. Oh, work stops. All I'm going to do is write. Well, it gets pent up. And you sit there and you're like, promise yourself, oh, it's got to be good. I'm going to set up this 6 month and that's all I'm going to do. And you get to that 6 month and all of a sudden, all that pent up like hype that you've done to yourself comes up and you're like, what the fuck do I write about? And that's the hardest freaking writer's block because you work so goddamn hard for so long for this window of opportunity, and you're setting 6 months, which is a good amount of time, frankly. But like you never know, that first month maybe nothing happened. Maybe in that first month you just equalize and like chill the hell out, and then you can get an inkling of something to write about in the second month. I would say you should be writing all the time. You should find the time in a week to write a little bit and take out little bite-sized pieces like that. Don't sit there and go,
I'm gonna been doing.
Don't sit there and go, I'm gonna sequester this giant amount of time because that's gonna like hit you the wrong way. Take little pieces out, and then you'll have this whole thing come together. And then take like 1 month off and pull all those little pieces into a lovely piece of music or art. You know what I mean? I have some songs that's taken me 4 years to write. Sense. I have one arrangement that was I was hired for this arrangement. The piece was going to come out in 2 years. It took me 13 months to make it perfect for them. Some are a lot easier. Some I can knock out in like a week or two. But this one took a while because I fucked up my system of how I go about writing things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But also, I don't know how you go about being creative. I don't know how your co-star goes about being creative. You guys, if you got something that works, I don't know shit. You do whatever hell works for you. You know what I mean? I know what works for me. I don't know what works for you. This is just my opinion.
No, and you know what? You knocked the nail right on the fucking head. And okay, it's hard for me to admit this, but you know what? You made total fucking sense, and you actually said something that I think I'm gonna have to genuinely listen to when I listen back to this episode, because of course I'm gonna fucking do that, because with everything I'm involved in, I will always listen back and make sure that, you know, I can.
Oh yeah,
and
if you think I'm an idiot, don't listen to me. Like, don't get me wrong. I know I'm an idiot.
No.
Well,
no, you actually said something.
No, dude, and here's the thing, like shit, like Rob, I know I said this to you a lot in college, but I'll say it to you again. Like, you are one of the few voices that I will genuinely listen to and will actually take what you say into consideration, because you know what the fuck you're talking about.
I know some things. I know, you know, I to be honest, I think I'm an idiot. So like that's what like keeps me sane. But dude, you're good too. You know what you need to do, Chris. Like we were all went to the same place. You know what you got to do. And like I said, if something else works better for you, go for it. If whatever produces good, honest results is the right thing to be doing. You know, art is weird like that. Like I've seen tons of artists who have the weirdest like inspiration tools. And who am I to say that it's wrong? I am. I'm not. You know, so long as it doesn't hurt you physically, you know what I mean.
Well, yeah,
I would say do whatever the hell you want to do.
Because
then
at that point you're just like you're hurting yourself for the wrong reasons. But no, like that's the thing I've been struggling with lately is just like not finding the right focus, I think. But, you know, once again, you fucking hit the nail right on the head, man. I love you.
So I'm dying to see Avengers. By the way, I was watching the podcast. I was watching it, and oh my god, I'm just like Avengers 4 trailer. It's only 4 months, well 4.5, whatever.
Yeah, no, it actually, like, seriously, you know, okay, that's the perfect place to end this episode. So Rob, let's get into this. Like, how excited are you for that fucking movie?
Look, I'll tell you a story. You were talking about this before. There are the people who've read the comic books and the people who don't know about the comic books. I've read the comic books. I was sitting there at Infinity War all the kids are dressed up as their favorite characters, not knowing what's going to happen. And I knew from the second the title screen opened up the entire plot of the movie, and I'm watching them as the beauty in their eyes slowly drains away as they realize Tony Stark is getting stabbed and people are not okay. And then, oh my God, the kid next to me was dressed up as Iron Man. Iron Man gets the big shaky shake, right?
Yep.
The poor kid starts falling. The dad has to take him out of the movie theater. And, like, all the people they're oohing, they're awing, they're, like, they're jarred. They're upset. I'm laughing like a fucking hyena in the movie theater because I already knew what was going to happen. And they're looking at me like I'm a crazy man, right? And I was just loving it. It was so satisfying. And that's what you said earlier, by the way. It's going to be so fucking satisfying to see Endgame.
Yeah. Like,
it's going to be a catharsis of no other.
Yes, it is. Because, to be honest, at this point, for the last 10 years, my emotions have just been driven all over the fucking place. And it's like, you know what? Just take me home, get me to a good place, and let's start the next phase, the next era of these Marvel movies in the best place possible. But with that, I think we had fucking, oh my God, this has been one of the best episodes of any podcast I've ever done.
Not Bucky. What's the name? The Arrow. What's it? No, fuck. I'm such an idiot. Hawkeye. Sorry.
Yeah, Hawkeye.
Oh my God, my brain. Hawkeye.
Dude.
All I saw from I'm not gonna give a spoiler, but like, I saw that trailer. I know what he meant by what he said, and that's some fuck shit. With Hawkeye, yeah.
Like, you just have to take one look at Hawkeye and you instantly know, like,
and
fuck.
And they say that line right as it pans to Hawkeye, and you're like, oh, the poor guy. He just wanted out. That's the thing about Marvel. I know he's not allowed to go out. I know they're gonna bring I know how it's gonna go. But yet, I sit there and they fucking pull my ass in about it, and I have faith.
Yep.
But it's all like written. It's Hollywood. It's comic books. Like what's gonna happen.
Pretty much.
And yet, it stupefies you when it happens in your face.
Yeah. But, guys, thank you for tuning in to what might be my favorite episode of the Who Cares Anyway podcast so far. Holy shit. Here I am with one of my best friends we've been working on this channel now for about, a few months now. We've been kicking ass and taking names, and here with one of my best friends from college who, honestly, I will do my damnedest to bring him back as soon as I can because
dude, I had fun here. If they find me funny, I'll totally talk about other shit. Like, I love to talk about music and physics, so that's my two big things, man.
Absolutely, and definitely on the next big music-heavy episode, I will definitely have you back. And so, with that being said, Rob, where can the good folks find you online?
So I ironically am terrible online because I have the time to I don't even have a Twitter account. I don't have an Instagram. I'll be real. But you should find me at Mangold Music Foundation. Then we have a site www.themangoldmusicfoundation.com. If you go to the team, you'll see my ugly mug somewhere there. But go check us out there. Keep an eye out for a band entitled Matt Taylor, spelled Taelor. That's a guy that I play with. I'm actually in a music video for him when we were in California. So you'll see my music there. And then otherwise, I'm a local guy. So if you're in New York, I play shows all the time in New York. The Delancey Theater, Rockwood Music Hall, Pianos. So you look for my name, look for that Matt name, and you'll probably hear me play.
Awesome. And Case, my wonderful co-host, where can the good folks find you online, sir?
Being in shock and awe thanks to a little trailer for Avengers Endgame that will probably drop in pretty soon on this channel.
It will.
Also, check out the Schmodown reaction we did today, and check out my title matches that are supposed to go up somewhere tonight on Multiplex Entertainment. We're still waiting on them to drop. I cannot wait for them to drop because I cannot wait for people to see it. But yeah, it's a waiting game. Anyway, Dutch Movie Guy on Twitter and Case Cornelisse on Facebook.
And as always, you guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Stardust, at Skywalker Dohmen. You guys can follow this very channel on Twitter and Instagram at D2A Channel. Please like our Facebook page, and you can find me all across social media. Find my band Silver Nightfall all across social media at Silver Nightfall. Please stay tuned for those awesome title matches that Case and I got to compete in on Multiplex Entertainment. We love those guys over there. They love us, and holy shit.
You guys played with those guys? That's kind of cool. I'm a little jealous. I watched their stuff.
Nice. Awesome. And so with that, I think that's about do it for us. And until next week, guys, you know what to do. Take care.